Welcome back to another video in the brand new Minecraft 1.11 snapshot 16W39B. Today we're going to be taking a look at a slightly more technical redstone contraption, but also something that I'm going to find incredibly useful. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of randomizers, okay? Randomizers are sort of my thing. I absolutely love them and I use them a ton in my redstone contraptions. And behind me, I've got a brand new 9-way randomizer that is incredibly compact. Now I know what you're thinking, Mumbo, that didn't look that compact. I mean, that actually looked quite complicated. There was loads of redstone going on. It all looked very confusing. Well, this is what a 4-way randomizer looked like before Minecraft 1.11 and before the shulker boxes were introduced. If I was to make this a 9-way randomizer, it would be about 6 times as big. Now, to be frankly honest, that would be insane. So this is an absolute godsend. Now, to use this thing, all you have to do is hit this button over here, and as you can see, some redstone action happens in this corner. And then we get ourselves a slightly different redstone output. So this time we've got torch number 3, and then when we hit the button once again, we get torch number 8 turning on. Then we hit the button again, and we get torch number 2 going on, and so on and so forth. I mean, you could do this all day long, and you will not be able to detect a pattern in the system, simply because it is randomized using this dispenser over here. Now, inside this dispenser, you can see we've got 8 shulker boxes, and we also have another shulker box out the front. That's given the redstone output. And as you can see, each one of these shulker boxes has a slightly different number of redstone items on the inside of it. Now, this is important because when it's dispensed, the comparator will take an output from it, and if there's lots of items inside the shulker box, then it will give a strong redstone output. If there's not many items on the inside of the shulker box, then it will give a relatively weak redstone output, and we run that redstone output through a red coder to give us an independent redstone signal for every shulker box dispensed. So that's how this thing works. I hope all of that made sense. I'm pretty rough on the descriptions of these things, especially with new block types flying around like shulker blocks, and try my best to explain all of those, but this thing seems to work wonderfully, and I cannot wait to use it inside my redstone contraptions. But anyway, let's crack on with the tutorial, and I'll show you how to build this thing. So you want to get things started with a 4x5 area, and the first thing we're going to do is go a couple blocks back like this, and place 2 blocks up like that, then place a couple blocks going across like this with a sticky piston, and a transparent block on its face. Now that's where your shulker block is going to be going, so you want to place a block right here, and a dispenser running into that block. Then you want to place a dropper facing upwards in this location with a hopper running into it and a hopper running into that dispenser right there. Then down at the bottom, you just want to place a block here, block up like this with a comparator running into that block, then a couple blocks here, redstone, a repeater, and then a block just like that. Next up, you want to place a block on top of your sticky piston right there with a redstone torch like this, then a block with a repeater set to 4 ticks. That's going to be running up into this block right here with some redstone on top, and then a repeater set to 2 ticks running out into this regular piston right here. Then you want to place a block up like this, and this is where you're going to be taking your comparator output, which is going to be running out into the red coder circuit. All you have to do for this one is place 9 blocks going across like this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you need to place a block down at the bottom, right about there. Then place blocks going right the way across just like this. Now we're going to need a bunch of repeaters going across the bottom, so that is all of them set to 3 ticks right the way across there. Now this is a very simple red coder circuit. This has been in the game for quite some time now, but obviously it has its applications in the new parts of Redstone. So you want to place blocks going right the way across once again, covering up all of those repeaters. Then you need redstone dust on top of all of those, so we've got like this sort of conjoined area going across the top. Then you need a line of blocks once again, 9 blocks going right the way across, repeaters running out from these blocks right here with blocks up like this. Then you need a line of redstone torches just down at the bottom and a line of redstone torches up at the top, and that is going to be the output for your system. Now it is time to actually fill up your shulker boxes so that they give the random output. So all you have to do is place in your shulker box, and as you can see, there is currently no redstone output because there's no items on the inside of this thing. But when we chuck in 1 stack of items, redstone torch number 1 has turned on, which is perfect. So we just break that shulker box, we pick it up, and we chuck it inside the dispenser. Then we place in our second shulker box, and we need redstone torch number 2 to turn on, so we placed in 2 stacks. There we go, that seems to be working. So we break it, and that has gone down into the system, made its way up into the dispenser. Then we place shulker box number 3, and you guessed it, we just have to take a look at the redstone torches and see when they turn on. So we place in 3 stacks, and that hasn't turned on the 3rd redstone torch, so we place in another stack, and there we go. Redstone torch number 3 has just turned on, so we break the shulker box, it goes into the system, and it makes its way up into the dispenser. You guys get the idea. You basically have to place in a shulker box, and then chuck in some items until the correct redstone torch turns on, and then you have got the correct amount, and you place it in the dispenser. Do that 1 through to 9. And once you've done all of that, and you've placed all of the shulker boxes into the dispensers, there should be 9 in total. you have managed to get yourself a fully functional 9-way redstone randomizer that's incredibly compact. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.